Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my podcast. I am really excited about today's topic. I feel it's going to rejuvenate your mind and give you a whole new perspective. And you know what to do if you find this valuable. Share it with your friends, family, or coworkers, and join the movement. So, did you know that you have a power within you that is greater than poverty, greater than sickness, greater than any kind of limitation that can be imposed on you, and greater than any kind of circumstance that you may experience? Human beings have a power within them that is akin to a superhero power that is not utilized to its fullest extent. There have been human beings in the past in which we always study that have mastered the use of their imagination. They have brought things that were invisible to the realm of the world that is visible. People like the Wright brothers, Nikola Tesla, you know, they were able to bring about things that others ridiculed them for. They thought they were crazy, but they did not allow their focus of attention to solely rest in physical reality, because there's another reality that is within you that can shape reality to whatever form it desires. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12, verse 2. So, what does it mean when it says do not conform to this world? The world, as beautiful as it is, when we look at nature, we look at the stars, we look at the trees, we look at the forests, mountains, birds, animals, all of it. However, human beings have created a world that places a lot of people in a cage, in a self-created cage, in which they limit themselves and place a ceiling to their own potential based on how other people think, the patterns of thoughts of others, and how other people view them. They see other people's failures. They see and hear others talk about the things that they could not achieve and how others will not be able to do it as well. See, the world has many limitations. The physical body as well has limitations. I mean, perceived limitations. And these limitations tend to act as a ceiling, a perceptual ceiling, not an actual ceiling, but a ceiling that we conceive, which blocks imagination from blossoming and allowing imagination to touch all four corners of your mind. So we are conforming to the world by conforming to its limitations. We conform to what our parents, our friends, our co-workers, or teachers say about us. We use their imagination as some kind of blueprint to create our own reality. But we have to transform ourselves by renewing our mind. And what does renewing our mind mean? It means we no longer conform to the patterns of the world, but now we conform to the inner image that we have created of a reality that we desire. See, physical reality, right? This may be a new idea to some of you, but physical reality, the world that you see with your eyes, with your physical eyes, that world that we see is a projection of a reality that we need to survive, right? We are only seeing elements of reality that help us survive. The physical eyes were not created to see other worlds and other possibilities. The physical eyes were only created to see what is happening in front of you right now. Okay, so the physical world is nothing but a shadow of a higher reality that your eyes, your physical eyes, cannot conceive of. So we shouldn't look to reality as a permission slip of what we can create or what is possible for you. Physical reality should just be looked at as a means of survival. You see a car driving down the road, you're trying to cross the road, you see the car, you see its form, you see its mass, or you can assume its mass by the form. You see its color and you see the speed moving towards your direction. Your physical eyes have picked up on that, and it is trying to move you towards survival so that you get out of the way and live another day. But your physical eyes cannot see how that car was created, the form to which that car took in that individual's imagination that built it. That is invisible to the physical eyes. The physical eyes cannot see the realm of imagination because the physical eye's job is to focus your attention on physical reality so that you survive. So the master of imagination knows how to ignore reality when it's beneficial or when it is the best approach in that situation. So what do I mean by ignoring reality? Do I mean ignoring the physical world to your own detriment in a way that takes away at your survival? No, that's not what I'm insinuating at all. What I'm saying is that you ignore reality for the limitations that it's echoing back to your awareness. Whatever limitations that you see in the physical world and in your personal circumstances. For example, you open up your bank account or banking app and you see a balance that is not really inspiring, right? You don't look at that bank balance and allow that to dictate your potential. That amount does not dictate where you could be. It does not dictate the amount that you could potentially earn or have. It's just a physical representation of the current amount that you have now. But it does not act like a ceiling. It is not a blocker of your potential. It's just a physical representation of where you exist now. For example, you take a look at yourself in the mirror. Perhaps maybe you're overweight or you don't have your desired body. Now, that body that you're seeing in the mirror is just a reflection of your physical state at this moment in time. But it is not your ceiling. It is not an indication of your limits. It's just where you exist right here, right now. So developing the ability to ignore reality, to see what reality is presenting, but still adopting your inner vision. And your inner vision is your imagination, seeing a reality that is desired, and ignoring the reality that is presented to you by the physical world. So you're not conforming to what the physical world is presenting to you. You're conforming to an inner image of a reality that you do desire. And that is your blueprint. That is your template. That is where you start operating from. We don't operate from the limitations of the world. We operate from the possibilities that imagination is able to conjure. See, your outer reality should not be your primary concern. It's only a reflection of what has already been created. Instead, the optimal approach is becoming emotionally attached to the inner image that you have created of what reality could possibly be. So, when you're looking at your bank account and you're seeing that balance that is undesired, not desirable, you use your inner vision, your inner imagination, your inner eyes to see a totally different amount being reflected in your bank account. Even though your physical eyes is presenting something that is contrary to what your inner eye is seeing, regardless, you do not conform to the world. You conform to the transforming of your own mind. Your mind being the source of imagination. So you use your imagination to see the desired amount. You look at yourself in the mirror and you use your imagination to see your optimal body. You don't use the physical world and what the physical world presents. We're not concerned about that. We are walking gods. We know we spoke about this in the previous podcast, I am that I am. That we are literally gods walking upon this realm. And we don't take our cue from how this world appears. You know, physical reality has been termed as Maya. Maya being illusion, right? So it's not that the world out there, the external world, is not real, but how we perceive it is illusionary. How we perceive reality is not how reality is in its totality. Tell me something. If I had to place a seed into your hand that could eventually become like an oak tree, right? Let's just say it's a seed from an oak tree. And I place it into your hands. Physical reality tells you that that's just nothing but a seed, a small substance that is required to be placed into the soil and will eventually take time in order to become an oak tree. But right now, as it is right now, your physical eyes is just showing you a seed that is so minuscule, so small. But the inner eye, imagination, can look at that same seed and see its produce and see a whole oak tree that is much larger than the seed that physical reality allows you to see. So we don't look at the world as it is. We look at the world as what it could possibly become. And that can only be exercised when you ignore reality and don't take your cue from reality, but you take your cue from your inner image, your inner sight, your imagination. Because the brain, right? The brain is a receiver. It's like an antenna. You are not generating thoughts. You're not generating ideas. It's not producing those kind of things. The brain is actually just aligning with already existing thoughts and already existing realities. It's like every possibility already exists within a greater field. You know, they speak about this in quantum physics, right? The field, right, where all potential exists. Everything that has been, that is, and that could ever be exists in this field. And imagination is a faculty through which we tune ourselves to that field and align ourselves with an event within that field that is resonant with us. So your brain receives thoughts and mental movies that aligns with its vibrational state. It's not that the brain is creating anything. Your brain is not producing any original thoughts. All thoughts exist in the field. All ideas exist in this field. And your brain is just aligning, it's resonating with those particular thoughts and those particular mental movies. Right? It's very important to understand that you are not creating your reality. I know that is a very commonly used phrase in the spiritual community, or just in general, how we create our own reality. You are not creating reality, ladies and gentlemen. Reality is a finished product. All realities exist simultaneously. Everything that you can conceive is an already existing reality. Did I not tell you that in my Father's house are many kingdoms? There are many mansions in my Father's house. I'm paraphrasing it here. But within you are infinite potentials of what you could possibly become. And your brain only receives that which is in vibrational alignment with who you believe yourself to be. You could imagine yourself being a scientist. You can imagine yourself being a basketball player. You can imagine yourself being a musician. You can imagine yourself being an actor. You can imagine yourself being a president of a nation. And every single one of those images are real. The only thing that makes them distinct from reality and what could be, the only thing that makes them distinct is that you are not vibrationally aligned to them. You don't have a belief that you are in resonance with that idea, with that image. Because if you were in resonance with those images, your brain would scan your physical reality, your outer environment, and look for every single way to make that image manifest and unfold and materialize into your world. That is the power that we have within us. You have a brain that is willing to receive any kind of idea. Do you know how many thoughts that you can think right now? Do you know the scale of possibilities of ideas that exist that have never even been touched yet by a human mind, that is just waiting and available at every given moment? But because we have become attuned and we have conformed to the world, which always places us in a limited view, we don't allow ourselves to actually explore the scale of thoughts and ideas that we could entertain. And all of this is invisible to you if you are not aligned with higher principles, higher thoughts, and higher experiences. And if you're not aligned with your God-given power, which is your human imagination. It was Albert Einstein that said imagination is a preview of life's coming attractions. You see, it's not of what like you imagine is just some fantasy, some fairy tale, some daydream. You know, many times when we were at school, we were taught to stop daydreaming, right? by our teachers because we had to focus on the current lesson, right? And we called it daydreaming, and we perceived that as some kind of activity, mental activity that is frivolous. It's just something that you do to bypass time. But little did we know that when we were children and we were imagining all these vivid mental movies of us doing things, right? Of perhaps imagining yourself playing football and scoring a goal, or imagining yourself flying, or imagining yourself eating delicious food. Whatever it is that we imagined when we were children, they were much more imaginative than the examples that I just gave. But nonetheless, when we were kids and we were imagining this, little did we know that we were accessing our superpower. Little did we know that that same tool, imagination, that same tool is responsible for every single thing that we see in our world. You're listening to me either with your cell phone device or your laptop. Where did these devices come from? Oh yeah, someone built them, someone took materials and modified them in order to create that kind of device. Okay, let's go deeper. Who conceived of these materials to be used in that way? Not even who, but like, where did these materials originally come from? And the conception of how these materials could be utilized to form these devices. Where did these ideas come from? And if we look back correctly, we will always see that all these things, every single physical system in our world that we can perceive, came from the imagination. It came from the human imagination. See, Einstein has understood that imagination allows us to experience possibilities even before they become tangible. So long before something appears in the physical world, it has to first appear in the image within the mind. So if imagination is a preview of life's coming attractions, that means whatever we exercise within our imagination, whatever we allow ourselves to repetitively imagine, we are creating a stronger attraction force that will magnetize ourselves to that reality that we are seeing within our mind. See, the mind is a microcosm of the physical world. The physical world, the universe itself, is a macrocosm of your mind. It's the macrocosm of imagination. So obviously, we have physical systems that human beings have created. But now think about nature. Think about the ocean. Think about the mountains. Think about the trees. Think about the birds. Think about the majesty of existence. And think about where that came from. If we are following the principle that every single thing that we experience as human beings, we have created from the human mind, from the human imagination, then can you imagine the imagination that brought about the natural world, that brought about the universe? And that, ladies and gentlemen, that creative force that birthed this universe, that imagined this universe, that force exists within you. It's not outside there. It's not creating outside of you. It exists within you. And it's always allowing you to imagine whatever you want. The scale of mental movies that you can play of your desired realities is limitless. You can imagine yourself in a 5-star hotel in Mauritius. You can imagine yourself marrying your desired partner. You can imagine yourself getting a promotion. You can imagine yourself driving around your ideal car. And every single one of those images are real. And they exist within your imagination and they exist within you. And if you can be a conduit between that which is unseen and that which is seen, you can bring forth any kind of reality that you so desire. And this is quite evident when we look at athletes. I was reading a story, actually, I was listening to a story of Magic Johnson and LeBron James. Let's start with Magic Johnson. So Magic Johnson was working for a cleaning company. So he would mop the floors of the corporate spaces and clean up the environment. But in his mind, he was ignoring reality. He was not conforming to the world. He was seeing possibilities and he was rehearsing mental movies of his desired reality. He would bust into the CEO's office, and right now he's dreaming. He's lucid in his dreams, and he's seeing himself as the CEO walking into that room. Mind you, the world, the physical world, what that was indicating, he was in a uniform, in a cleaning uniform with a mop in his hand. That was what the physical world was communicating to him. If he had conformed to the world, he would not have allowed himself to dream like that. He would have forced himself to only perceive himself as just a cleaner, because that's what the physical world was giving to him. That was the feedback he was getting. But no, Magic Johnson did not allow that. He saw the inner image. He allowed himself to not be conformed by the world, but the renewal of his own mind, his own consciousness. And he allowed himself to imagine a preview of life's coming attraction, of being a CEO. And right now, Magic Johnson is the CEO of multiple companies. LeBron James grew up in Ohio, in the projects, and he would dream of himself becoming a basketball player. He would take a hanger, push it out so that it looks like a rim, right? And then tie some shoelaces so it's like got a knit. And then he would fold up his socks and tie them together and start throwing up shots, imagining himself being a basketball player in the heart of the projects, in the heart of a world that communicated that he had limits, that he was in poverty, that the reality that he was imagining was not possible. But LeBron James did not see with his physical eyes, which were just for survival. He saw with the inner eye, the eye of imagination. And he saw himself as a basketball player. And right now, LeBron James can arguably be considered the greatest of all time. So we have this power as well to rehearse, literally rehearse, get your nervous system believing that you already have the reality that you are envisioning. Rehearsing is what gets your physical body invested into the mental movie. Even scientists have concluded that your body cannot tell whether or not what you imagine is real or not. Okay? So they've taken athletes, right? These were basketball athletes, and they attached feedback systems, right? Biological feedback systems that could monitor their hearts and the, blood pressure and the activities in their brain. And they told these individuals to like engage in the physical activities that you would do as if you were practicing a basketball game, right? So they'll dribble the ball physically, go through different cones, dribbling the ball and then shooting it, and then rebounding the ball and doing the whole procedure. And then they would take those feedbacks, biological systems, attach them to their bodies again, and now they would tell these individuals to just imagine themselves playing a basketball game, just dribbling the ball, going through the cones again, shooting, grabbing a rebound, doing that process over and over. And what the scientists discovered is that the body reacted in the same way when it was mentally rehearsing taking those shots to when the athletes, the individuals, were physically taking the shot, which means the body could not tell the difference between what was being imagined and what was actually being physically experienced. So your body can become so emotionally engaged and invested in what you are imagining that the body will feel as if it's already existing in that reality. So that is a power that we have. We can literally rehearse, we can literally script our desired reality into materialization. But many people do not exercise this power. Many people don't even know that they can exercise this power. Many people just utilize their imagination in a way where they don't acknowledge that power. They're misrepresenting themselves in their own imagination. Imagine mentally rehearsing getting fired. Imagine mentally rehearsing arguing with your partner. Imagine mentally rehearsing failing at the things that you're trying to achieve. I don't even need to tell you to imagine that. There are people that do that daily. They are using their own superpower to imagine an undesired outcome. And then when that outcome materializes, they call it fate. They say the gods are not favoring them. They say reality is not fair. They say life is not fair. But they are not even looking towards the genesis of the reality that they have called forth through their own imagination. So, exercising your power of imagination is quintessential because imagination is morally neutral. It only magnifies the intention of the user. Imagination is morally neutral. That same force that inspires people to do great works of art, that inspires scientific breakthroughs and human progress, is the same force that can be extremely destructive. It can create fear. People have created torture devices using imagination. So imagination only it only amplifies the intention of the person using it. So it's like the power of electricity. Electricity can be used to light up your home and allow you to live comfortably, power your devices. But that same power, that electricity, can literally fry you and end your existence. It can create explosions that could kill dozens of people. That same force, that same power that's used to make our lives convenient can still be destructive. So imagination itself is a force. It's a superpower, but it's also something that can work to your own detriment if you don't know how to use it and how to exercise your imagination. So In the next podcast, I'd like to dive deeper into how one can use their imagination and give about the most effective techniques to effectively use your imagination in a way that will make you feel like a superhero. You will feel like you have a superpower where you can literally create a world that is unseen and materialize it into the seen world, where you're no longer a prisoner of what reality is presenting to you at its current state, but you are always in a state of freedom because your imagination is your savior. So we'll end it off here, and I could go on so deeper into all these topics, but we got to keep it manageable, keep it short, so we can dive deeper into the next topic the next time. And if you guys found this insightful, helpful, then do let me know in the comments. Do let me know by liking this, and we'll do another video or another podcast of it as well. We're going to end it off here. And for those who seek no more, or in the present, we find it all. Thank you very much, guys.